Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and it is time for my free online card class. So welcome, welcome. We're going to give it a few minutes to see who's going to gather with us to stamp live, and we are going to make sure that my computer is showing me what you are seeing so that we remain in the actual camera, which is always the aim when you're doing a Facebook Live. Hey, Kathy, I'm so glad you're here with me this evening. Thank you for sharing. That does help me so much. I trust that things are good in your part of the world. We are having a ton of rain, and we always need rain. In fact, it's been super, super dry this year, so we are grateful. We are in like a rain pattern for several days, which is a little unusual. Not that unusual in the spring, but definitely, we're a semi-arid climate, so having days and days of rain is not overly common, that's for sure. So we are grateful. And it's also brought the temperatures down. We were unseasonably warm. So we are back to having cooler, more moderate and more average spring temperatures. So hello, Jolene. And who else joined us? Margaret. Hey there. I was just talking to my grandkids from Virginia that are in Virginia. They're from Texas. They're in Virginia. They're in Williamsburg. We had FaceTime with them on Saturday and an egg hunt and spring piñata or Easter piñata with the grandkids that were here on Sunday. We had a lot of goings on at the weekend. Hey, Chrissy, I'm so glad you are here. You know what I think I'm going to do is while we are gathered, I'm just going to, or gathering, I should say, this is my host code. Hey, Linda, I'm so glad you're here. I do have packets that are sent out with a minimum order. So place your $40 order and you'll get all the card kits for free. I am going to do the tutorials for free for all of my subscribers. So make sure you're on my email list. And this is one of the last times I'll be doing a host code. So host codes are going away in April. I think it's actually going to be a good thing. Of course, it's the great unknown at this point, but you'll be able to manage your own rewards and you'll be able to get them at beginning at $20. And that's a good thing because right now, one of the reasons we do host codes and reward our customers with things is because you have to place a $150 order before you start getting free, basically credits with Stampin' Up. And so this is definitely going to change that up. Of course, I'll still be doing free card classes and all kinds of things like that. So onward and upward. Hello, Corinne, and welcome. So this is my host code for tonight's cards, and these are free with a minimum order through Sunday. Okay, we are going to start off using this adorable Storybook Friends. This is in our spring book, and I'm going to use just the stamps. There are dies and all kinds of cute things. There's even a second stamp set that coordinates. I'm going to just use the stamps and keep it simple, but I'm going to step it up with a couple of things. So this is my fun fold card. This is one of my favorite fun folds because it really allows you to show off your designer paper. I'm using a die from the postage, Perennial Postage. This is one of the newest dies. This is an online exclusive, and it's called Textured Notes. So this is the way your card kits come. So everything is here except your stamps and ink. And that allows you to use the stamps that I've used, or you may have some others in your stash. You could use any Easter Bunny stamps, any bunny stamps. What I love about this paper, there's my little, that's what I was looking for right there. What I love about this Countryside Inn paper is that, and you make sure your direction is correct because there is an upside and a downside. And you could use the you could use the stripes, but I thought the flowers were kind of cute. This is the second year that this paper was in the online catalog with so many blues. It's easy to love. And I have pulled out, we're going to be using the Night of Navy ink, which is in here. I'm using a boho blue card base. You're going to want to make sure that you start grabbing these retiring in colors. Don't quote me because I'm not totally sure, but I know that last night I was trying to add some wild wheat cardstock, single color, and it was not available. And it also was not in the unorderable. So it just wasn't in there at all. And so I don't know if it has sold out. I would be surprised if it has, but this is that time of year when not only will the in colors start selling out, the retiring ones, but you'll also start seeing some other things, particularly from the spring book. Hey, Frankie, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Susan, I'm so glad you're here as well. But you'll find things from the spring catalog that sell out. So case in point, I'm going to be using the Sunny Days iridescent dots. Love, love, love them. They are from the spring catalog and they have sold out. They will not be coming back and I love them. So kudos to you if you got them. But like I said, this is the time of year when you want to be mindful of things that will start selling out. So you can see why I chose this paper. This is one of the patterns, and of course you get 2 full sheets of this in the paper, but it's not like overly Eastery. I think it's really awesome. Okay, let's do just a wee bit of stamping. Let me go ahead and put these in. So these are just little 4x3 panels and really perfect for writing just a little something something on the inside of your card. The other thing I like about this particular Easter card is that it's old enough where I can send this, like I have a teenage granddaughter, Lord have mercy, she turns 15 next month. She's going to be getting her driving permit. That is so scary. Oh my goodness. She'll be a great driver, but I can't believe it. I can't believe my Olivia is almost 15. So this is a great design for a man or a woman. I think, honestly, I could give this to a man with all the blues. It would be easy to send to like my brother, my big brother. It'd be easy to send to a lot of different people. So let me go ahead and do my Easter greetings. And I love the fact that the words in this stamp set, look at those words. You have a lot of, and they're actually larger than what they look like on the outside. So you can see the scale here, but a lot of really useful words, and you can create cute little scenes. So let's do Easter greetings. And my little tag here is again from Perennial Postage, and I'm putting it on boho blue. Now boho blue is probably my favorite of the retiring in colors, and I have a feeling it's going to sell out pretty quickly. So again, this is your what's the word I'm looking for, public service announcement to go grab that while you can. Now, what I'm going to do here is I am going to stamp my bunny in basic gray ink. That is so that my bunny is softer than black. You know, tuxedo black is a strong color. I love it, but sometimes I want something a little softer, and I want my bunny to have a softer look. And that is just exactly what I'm looking for. Now, let's see. Grab a little Stampin' Mist. I got to get these ready for, we're doing these cards in my Saturday card class this Saturday as well. So I got to get my cards, my stamps all clean and ready to use. Again, hello there, Melissa. I'm so glad you're here. So Kathy, you have a grandson turning 16. Oh my goodness, the time just flies, doesn't it? Now, I'm going to do a little bit of coloring on him, not a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm using light smoky slate, and I'm just going to kind of dab. I'm not trying to color in completely. I'm just really trying to give some definition to him without doing too much. So I'm going to make his underside more gray, and I'm leaving his main body white. So that just gives him a little bit of definition, and then I'm going to give him, his bow tie is going to be light boho blue. Now, boho blue is the base that I have here, so this is going to really tie in. And I think this little natty looking guy is just perfect in that boho blue. Now I'm putting just a little bit of dark lemon lime twist. For me, when I have an animal like this, I don't want him just hanging in outer space. So I like to put a little bit of ground under him, just a couple of little strokes. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of ink right here. And this is petal pink. This is dark petal pink. And that gives, again, just a little bit of definition to his face. Now, because this is quite thick with all of the different layers here, I'm going to actually put this directly here. I'm not going to pop it up on dimensionals. Now, I do want to kind of watch where my bunnies are because I want more bunnies. And so I'm actually going to put it a little bit farther down. If I put it here, you won't see very many. So my recommendation is to place your bunny in a position so that you have more bunnies, not less. So on my original, he's on the other side, and I'll show you what I mean. Now this I am going to pop up on dimensionals, and they are right here. So yeah, Jolene, your granddaughter's turning 14. Yeah, it happens in the blink of an eye. And my daughter has 2 teenagers, and she told me, she said they're very aware. This is that time in the kids' lives when they are just growing by leaps and bounds, not just in their height, that's true, but also just in their abilities and what they're kind of stretching and moving into. Now these are the these low profile dots, and they are very low profile. Ay, 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 where are you? Come on. Ay, ay, ay. Does not want to come up for me. These low profile dots are an online exclusive, and I really do like them. So these are petal pink and gold, and I love, love, love petal pink, and it gives just a little bit of color, a little bit of extra color to what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to add 3 of these little guys that I do not want to cooperate. Hey, Gloria, I'm so glad you're here. You forgot it was Thursday. Well, you know what? You made it here anyway, and I'm grateful that you are joining us. Okay, so there we go. Easter greetings, sweet and simple. So if you place an order and get this packet for free, you'll get everything is cut and ready for you to go. And you can just, do your little bunny and a greeting. You can either use this stamp set or you can use another. Okay, now let's move on. We are staying in a spring, definitely in a spring mode for the cards tonight. And I am going to bring in the bird's eye view. And this is from our annual catalog. This is actually, I think, the 2nd year. This was in the catalog. Maybe it was a carryover from the spring. I don't recall. Lots of fun things you can do with these birds. And I'm actually just I wanted just a simple little happy birthday. So I'm bringing in the happy birthday from Spring Corners, which is a newer online exclusive. Okay. So Margaret, you have 7 grandchildren. The oldest is 19. Ow. Wow. And the youngest is 13 months. Yeah, my youngest is 2. So yeah, not overly different than ours. Now, this time I am going to use, these are those spring, no, Sunny Days iridescent dots that have sold out. So I'm going to be using the pool party ones and just a couple of springy colors. And let's make a sweet and simple spring birthday card. I might end up sending this. My granddaughter in Virginia, her birthday is the day after Easter this year. And, oh, my packet's right in front of me. So this is how your packet comes in the mail for you. So here we go. These papers are from the Delightful Wishes, I believe it's called, from our spring catalog. I will tell you this is on low inventory, so if you like this paper, lots of yellows, but some other pretty colors too. Very sunshiny paper. You are going to want to get it now and not later because I don't know how much longer it's going to be around. My guess is that once it sells out, it will not be coming back. Now, I might be wrong. They could bring it back and put it in the online exclusives, but with a new catalog coming in, and this is not in, I don't think this one was in. I don't believe this one is in the new catalog. I'm still getting my brain wrapped around it. Now, I have purposely created a little gap there because I have a thicker ribbon. Now, this is that pom-pom ribbon that I just love, and I did end up buying more than I needed, so I've been using it a lot. But it's super fun. I think it puts like a very youthful kind of fun, flirty touch on your projects. And it ties really nicely, surprisingly so, I think. And it is actually on sale, which is extra nice. And the sale price, I think it's like $2 off. It's not a huge, it's not like, 60% off or anything like that, but it's a couple of dollars off. So I think this was originally 12 something, and I think it's now 10 something. So that is the pool party pom-pom trim. Now, I've made this little pocket. This is from the birthday celebrations dies, and I think it's just a really cute little shape. So Susan, you have 7 grandchildren. Wow, the oldest is 37, the youngest is 14. Amazing, absolutely amazing. The wishing set. Yeah, the wishing set, but I don't think the paper is, Corinne, if I recall. The stamp set did carry over, but I don't recall seeing the paper. And I'm just using the paper. That wishing set is really pretty, but I looked at, to me, it looked like it was going to be a little bit too fiddly for me, so I bypassed it. It's very pretty. And I'm not surprised it carried over. It's been very, very popular. So Kathy, your grandkids are 16 to 15 months. Tell you, the little ones keep us on our toes, don't they? Actually, I don't know if the big ones do too. I'm not sure which age is more, what's the word I'm looking for? Challenging. But I tell you, they're not nearly as challenging as their parents were. When you're just a grandparent, it's a whole different world. Man, it's so much easier. So much easier. Okay, these I'm going to put back in here. And I'm kind of just letting that sit for a minute. Personally, I always wait a couple of seconds for that tuxedo black ink to dry. Technically, it dries immediately, but it's been known to smudge on me because I get a little bit in too big a hurry. So I decide that I like to just kind of hang out with that a little bit and let it sit. Okay, now I could flag this. I'm actually going to slash it because it's quicker. And it's also a little bit jauntier, I think, than a flag. A little bit, maybe a little bit more modern. And I think that's going to work quite well. Let's bring it down so I don't collide with my little pocket. Okay, now let's color our little chick. Now, I'm going to use some dark peach pie, and I'm going to bring a little bit into the tail feathers and into the wing and right down on the breast. And of course, I'm going to use a little bit of peach pie on the beak. And I think I'm going to maybe just go over the legs. Not sure you'll see it. Yeah. And yeah, this is a fun stamp set. It really is. I'm going to put, again, this is dark lemon lime twist. And I'm going to actually use the fine tip and just put a little bit of grass under my chick. And then I'm going to use dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to go along all the edges. Now, to me, this dark Daffodil Delight looks much more like crushed curry, which is probably why we don't have crushed curry blends. So I'm just going to go right around the edges to make sure that I've got kind of a darker yellow there. And let's do it there to kind of emphasize that wing. And then it has a cute little bird, isn't it? It's a great value for a $20 stamp set. I love the fact that you have 2 sets of glasses. So super fun, and a set of books on top that you can put the birds on top. So lots of fun. Now this is light Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to blend everything. So I'm purposely going over where all of that pumpkin pie is. And I'm going to kind of go around the, I don't want to get too close to the beak because I want the beak to stay peach pie. But I'm just pulling in some of this dark color, pulling it towards the middle with my light light Daffodil Delight. And then I've got a nice looking little chick. Now, recognize it's going to dry a little bit lighter. And then one of my favorite things to do with animals and creatures is to do just a light outline with Pool Party. Now, I typically do this in light Pool Party, but that was already packed with another project. So I got out the dark, and I think it works. So this, I find, gives just a little bit of a look of the sky around your animals. It's just one of those little tiny details that I think makes a nice difference. It just kind of gives that little, it's like you don't really notice it, but it makes the bird pop. Okay, now I don't need the, oh, you know, that would actually look kind of cute. My original, I did the blue ones, but that might actually look, I think I'm going to use these. Okay, now I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. Get back in the camera. And yeah, if you like bird's eye view, I would recommend you get it while you can. We don't know, what will stay around in the online exclusives, what will be on the last chance list. We don't know that, but I do know this is not in the new annual catalog. So I have a feeling, and because this is the second year that we've had it, I have a feeling that it's going to disappear. That it's going to be, I have a feeling that once it sells out, it's probably going to sell out. So, and who would have thought that you could make this little springy chick from a bird stamp set? But I think it's pretty cute. Now, let's just see how these look. And like I said, I used these on my first card, but let's just bring in these and just bring a little different pop of color and see what we like. Okay. Let's do one here. Let's do one there. And we will do, and I've got only the big ones left because I must have used the little ones on something else. Hey, Marlene, I'm so glad you decided to join us. We are making spring cards tonight. all spring all the way. And I think we're going to go there. So there we go. Let me show you my original has the pool party dots, and my remake has the little, I think they're pumpkin pie dots. So I think they're both pretty cute. So there we go. And what did I do with my first card? Let's see. I need to have that out so that, here we go. Okay, so we have the bird and we have the chick. Hey, Yolanda, I'm so glad you are here. Oh, Marlene's been doing daisy cards. Yeah, it is just that time of year when we want to do cute, we want to do soft colors, we want to do all the things that speak of spring. Okay, now we're going to go with some more spring colors in a little different vein, and that is Courage and Faith. Now this stamp set made it into the new annual catalog. Hey Dolores, I'm so glad that you like my card. We are going to use, I love the fact that you have both directions. Now you can see how much larger these are. I'm going to use a Bible verse, one of my all-time favorite Bible verses. And we are going to stamp in Tuxedo Black ink. And let me get my blends. Sorry if I'm leaning all into the camera. Here we go. We are going with Petunia Pop. And we are going to layer up the circles. Here we go. So this is where we are heading. So you can see why I said there's a lot of circles and very springy colors. So let's put this baby together. Courage and Faith, some great, great Bible verses for our card making. This is Petunia Pop, one of our in colors that we get to keep for another whole year. This is that Dotted Swirls, I think is the name of it. A really fun and very popular embossing folder. And I'm just going to stick it down directly to my card front. And this is just Petunia Pop on Petunia Pop. Yeah, this is a stamp set with a lot to love, Susan. You know, for those of us faith girls, this is really awesome. Really awesome to be able to express our faith in our card making like this. Now, this is product Spotlight on Nature. Spotlight on Nature dies. Now, I do not know this for a fact, but somebody told me this on stage. Totally a rumor. So take that as you will. Told me that this is going to not only not be in the new catalog, but it's going to be on the last chance list, and when it goes, it goes. It will not become an online exclusive. So if you like these circles, you're going to want to get them. It's a really cool die set of circles. Okay, let's get going on our stamping so that everything can dry. And I think I'm going to do, let's do this first, because this is going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze. And I'm going to get this set of flowers on here first. And then I'm going to do the other side next. Let me clean my stamp. I'm being a very good girl. You know, I don't know about you guys. I'm notorious for just stamping and then throwing the stamps on my desk and sorting it out maybe when I'm done. I think we're going to go ahead and do this next because I don't want to run out of room for the Bible verse. Here we go. Okay. There is trust in the Lord. Now, I may have gotten it too... I got it too close. Pooey. Okay, we're flipping it over. You know what? I don't think that's going to work because it's going to bleed through. Let me grab another one. I will say when you use these circle dies, it looks like it is snowing when you're done. There are little pieces of white confetti everywhere. Either it's snowing or you've had a big celebration. Okay, so let's do this in the center. And it is not in the center, but we're going to go with it. Somehow I'm stamping over too far. It's probably because of the way I'm standing. Okay. Or am I going to use it? Am I going to go with a third one? Let's see if we can make it work. Oh, no, I think that's going to work. Okay. Okay. It is a handmade card. Oh, yeah, once you get them all on there, you can't tell. Okay, we're in business. We are back in business. And my black ink is going to get put away. And I don't need that anymore. And I am going to clean my stamps. I'm letting my black ink dry just a little bit because I'm getting ready to add some color to those leaves and flowers, just a little bit. And I don't want that to smear on me. I think the other thing I'm going to do before I add the color is I'm using just a little, this might be my absolute favorite current ribbon. It just is yummy. I love to tie it. It ties so nicely. I love the little bit of shine. It's almost like ribbon that's had Wink of Stella on it. So it has just and it's delicate. It's light. Oh, now, Corinne, you have to put yours right away or the grandkids would grab them. Yeah. You must have them in your house a lot. Or you may watch them. Do you watch them while mom and dad are at work? That's a whole different, that is an entirely different scenario when you do that. So, yeah, you have to set your house up accordingly. So we are hatching plans for Easter. My granddaughter will be here. My youngest granddaughter, my 3 youngest grandkids will be here. And my daughter-in-law and her parents, it's my daughter-in-law's birthday that day. So her parents are going to come over and celebrate with us so they don't have to go down to, divide their time between parents and all that. So we know her parents. They're really sweet. We get on well. And they live south of town in a small community on acreage. So we're going to start with an egg hunt, and then we will move into lunch. And I've got my menu pretty well set. And anybody else here hosting Easter this year? Are you going somewhere? Or now I used both the dark and the light, and this is Granny Apple Green. Yes. Okay, I got them both in there. Now I'm going to use a little bit of fresh freesia, light fresh freesia on the tips of my flowers. And then, what I love about these is they're so small and delicate. It only takes a minute, not even, to get them colored. Now I'm going to be using, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that, Kim. I'm going to use light Petunia Pop. Now you could use all kinds of different shades on these, but I'm going to do kind of a less is more, and I'm doing light Petunia Pop and light fresh freesia just for some little pops of color, because we're going to layer this onto a circle of fresh freesia, and then onto our card base, which is Petunia Pop. So I think these are scrummy colors, perfect for spring. Look at how that starts popping so nicely. I love it. That is going to go like so. So this card comes together really quickly. Now, I will say, if you get my card packet because you've placed an order and you don't have this stamp set, you could easily sub this out with some other images. But I will say, I think that if you don't already have this stamp set, it would be a good thing to put in your order. Oh, wow, Corinne, you take care of your grandkids all the time, so they live with you. If they're with you 24/7, then they live with you. Wow. Well, that is an amazing thing that you get to do for them. So good for you. Never a dull moment, that's for sure. Now, I'm going to bring this up just a tiny, tiny bit. And you can see how, I mean, we've got, what I like about this design, look at all the circles. I love repeating patterns. We've got circles here, we've got dots, circles, and then circles and circles. And I like that kind of repeating patterns. I think it gives you a real cohesive look to your projects. So, and this is actually, you know, it's a little bit of die cutting work, but other than that, it's really very simple. It's very sweet. I think this design would actually also make a beautiful Mother's Day card. Now, my dots are probably packed. Let's see if I can find them. I have, or did I already set them out? This is where I start. On the third project, I start having major overload of stuff everywhere. Well, I have some in color dots. Let's see if I can locate them by tidying up a little bit. Put the blends away, and maybe they will appear. Where are you? Where are you? And I will get ready for my next project. While I am doing that, well, you know what? I might just do, did I put them in here? Let's see. Okay, getting some love on this card, even without the gems. Okay, so Jolene, you have a usual Easter lunch: ham, cheesy hash brown casserole, green bean casserole. Sounds fabulous. I love it when you have food traditions. Those are always great. Now, we will come back to this because I know the gems are hiding in here somewhere because I had my hands on them. Okay. The next project I'm going to show you utilizes this, and I wanted to show you this because this is a new die. So this is an online exclusive. Interestingly enough, it's part of a bundle with a, let me see if it's right here, a stamp set. Yeah. Here's the coordinating stamp set. Now, it's super cute, and I would get the stamp set, and I would get the die. Thankfully, Stampin' Up! Has given them to us in bundle format, so you get 10% off the two of them. So I think that's awfully nice. This is a really interesting die. It's a pricey die, but it does a lot of pattern, and I'll show you what I mean. So tuck this away, and this is my next packet. So let me show you what I mean. I have done this, and it feels like perforation. So it gives a nice, subtle, but very, very defined pattern. And here is where we are going. So this is a stamp set that carried over. This was in our spring catalog last year. And it's not in our new annual catalog. It may become an online exclusive. I'm not sure, but the detailing on this is really gorgeous. So I decided we would do this in really neutral colors to let the azure afternoon really set things off. So what we're going to do for this, and this is again how your packet comes. I do really like this little label die that's in there that has these little details, which I thought would look really nice with the ridges on this die. And I'm using some of this. I love this stuff. So I'm going to actually fold it, which you can do, and you can just twist it, turn it, tie it. It's really awesome. I love this stuff. Okay, So I think what we'll do is put all of this together, and then we're going to stamp and die cut. So let's do, this is the coordinating paper. This actually has coordinating paper. And again, this is in our annual catalog and not in our new annual catalog. So you're going to want to get this while you can. So this has just that little bit of gold, which is going to be just what we need. And then we're going to add more gold. So let's just take that and double it over. And I'm going to put a little bit of seal on the back here to secure my ribbon. So I'm going to double it over and put it down here, and then wrap it around and put it here. So that's going to secure that for me. Now I think I can go ahead and put this on my card front. I'm actually going to put this on dimensionals and pop the whole thing up so it looks like a little piece of art. So just a reminder that these card packets are free in the mail to you with a $40 order, and that is through Sunday. I do have a host code for you, and I will show it to you again before I go off the air. This demonstration will also be downloaded to YouTube, so if you're watching on YouTube, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up and a little follow by subscribing. So that is going to go like so. I love this Azure Afternoon. It's a bright, but it's got a little bit of a softness to it. It's not like an in-your-face. So that has a lot of texture on it, which I'm digging. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this and stamp this. So let's get all of our stamping done next. So my word, and I'm going to use this to cut out my flower. So here is my word. Just sending a bit of love your way. Well, you know what? It's going to have to just... It's got a little bit of funky going on there. I didn't set it just right, but I think it's going to be okay. I didn't use very even pressure, but I think it's going to be okay. And I could even go back over it with my black marker, which is, lo and behold, right here. I must have had this problem with another stamp. But I will say these are really fine letters. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to end up messing it up. So I'm going to live with the imperfection. It is a handmade card. Okay. So let's get this flower stamp. This is a really large stamp, and I love it. It's so pretty. Now, the little words down at the bottom are going to be cut off. So this is like a botanical print, and the words at the bottom are, like a definition or an actual name, an actual botanical name. It's got a little bit of, it's got a little bit of dust on it. Yeah, figure number 8, and then it's got the scientific name on there. The die will cut that off. So I'm not going to worry about that if it comes out perfectly or not. Not a problem. Ooh. See, that's not, for some reason, that is not catching. That's why I had that black marker out. And I can also see that I'm really adding a lot of extra pressure on that one end for some reason. Okay, let's get that. Hey, Crystal, I'm so glad you are here. The name of the bundle again, the bundle is called Pattern of Friendship, Marlene. And it's a really interesting, I think it has a lot of cool features, we should say. Okay, now I need to finish up this little edge on this first. Okay, so that's why you want a black Stampin' Right marker. Now I'm going to use the light and the dark wild wheat on these little seed pods. Or actually, yeah, I think they're seed pods. They might be bloom pods. They might be little bloom buds, not pods, buds. I'm not sure. Now I am going to bring my light wild wheat. This is a great color, especially when you're doing anything with nature. To me, it's like a matte version of gold. Okay, so that's there. Now on my original, I kept the blooms really, really neutral, but I'm just wondering if I added just a tiny bit of, let's do a little light petal pink and see what happens on these blooms. I think I'm going to like that. Just a little bit of color. Okay, so I'll throw that in the box too. And then we're going to make kind of a variegated leaf. And we're going to do that by taking light old olive and running it down the center, like the center vein of these big leaves. And this one honestly needs to be replaced. It's a little bit fuzzy on the end, but it's kind of working for me because of the pattern it's helping me create. Now I'm going to use dark soft seafoam to fill in my leaves. And you'll see what I mean about getting kind of a variegated look. I'm purposely not blending them. So I'm not going over the old olive. I'm actually creating two colors, just like you see on variegated plants. And I have no idea if this is correct for this plant, but it doesn't matter because I'm not creating a science textbook. I'm creating a little piece of art. And I think that the artwork on this is really exquisite. You know, I may leave those. I'm trying to decide if I want to leave the rest of those petals white. Very different from my original, but I got to thinking maybe we want to add just a little tiny bit of color. Okay, here we go. So can y'all see the colors and how it's kind of, maybe I want to blend it out just a little bit. I don't want it to look like stripes, but I definitely wanted that old olive in the center to be, not to be blended out so much that you couldn't see it. So, okay, there we go. Actually, I think that white looks, I think the white might just be what I want to keep there. Maybe I'll put just a little bit of this. This is light crumb cake. Let's do the edges of the, oh yeah, that's going to be nice. On the edges of the petals. And then I am going to go over the whole thing with my light petal pink to blend it out a little bit. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to run it through the die cutting machine, and then I will add a little bit of Wink of Stella. But let's run it through the machine first and see how it comes out. Okay, and I still have not, my little dots have not materialized, so I may be grabbing for something else so I can finish up that one card. Okay, here is my mini machine. The mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss is a great little machine, very useful, very neat and tidy, very handy. So let's do this. And let's put this here. We're going to live dangerously and not use any washi tape. Having said that, I find with this mini machine, I guess maybe because the plates are smaller, I find that I can just squeeze it and it just stays put. And as I said that, it shifted. But once you get the other plate, let me get here where you can see it. Once you get that plate on there, it kind of holds it in place. And then it cuts out just where you're wanting it to. See, when I lift my hand, it's shifting. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, now, okay, once I press there, then I am in good shape. Okay, so this is going to go all the way through and make very, very fast work of fussy cutting. Okay. And let's see, voila. Oh, came out very nicely. Very nicely, yay team. Okay. This is our final card of the evening. So this is going to go across like so. I really, really like this. And then I'm going to put this right over here. Now I could put it here, but I feel like it's a little bit too, yeah, I'm going to leave it over here. I like this. Okay, so let's put a couple of dimensionals on here. Don't change it, Candy. Leave it be. I do like that little tiny bit of color in those flowers. I think makes a big difference. You know, it's interesting how just a little thing will make a big difference. So sending a bit of love your way. I think, I'm not sure, this flower, this might be a vanilla. I don't know. It's really pretty though. Okay, that is going to, do I want it to, do I want that to be underneath or on top? No, we're going on top. Okay. There, and then I am going to take a couple of these little guys, and I'm going to actually use these little tiny birds, just a little tiny bit of brass. These little brass, they're just enough to give a little bit of detail, and it picks up this little bit of gold over here. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Card number 4, card number 3, card number 2, and card number 1. Don't forget, I will give all the tutorials to my email subscribers this week. So make sure you are on my list for that. You may earn, well, you will earn the card packets for free when you place a $40 order with this host code, one of the last host codes I will be issuing. Let me see if I can find those little dots, because I know they are, I just found them. I knew they were lurking here somewhere, and I'd find them as soon as I turned off the camera. So these are my in color dots, and thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and tuning in. I enjoy your company so much. And thank you for the kudos. Those are extra nice. It's always nice to hear when you like my cards. And hopefully you are inspired for your card making as well, to reach out and make something pretty and pop it in the mail for someone that you care about. We've got lots and lots of spring colors for tonight. And these are cards that my Saturday card class people are going to be making this Saturday as well. So I'm glad you like them all, Margaret. Thank you. If anybody has a favorite, I would love to hear that, or any aha moments or surprises. I will go in I will go in and reply to comments. And again, I will be downloading this onto YouTube. One quick thing before I leave you, I just opened up registration for my card club for April. And that is through, you can register through April the 12th. And we are using that fun hydrangea. I'm going to be doing lots of things with showing you how to do the, look at these fun folds, how to do the masks. Loving the fun folds here. I did 4 fun folds this month, and look at these insides, lots of fun. Lots and lots of fun on these that I had. And then we have another fun fold here. So we have 4 fun folds this month. You get a half a pack of this beautiful, beautiful paper and these die cuts that are done for you. I'm giving you a video tutorial so you can really learn how to use those masks and have fun with them. So yeah, make sure if you are not part of the club that you jump in. So Kim likes the Trust in the Lord one best. Kathy likes the bunny the best. I know. Oh, so Jolene, you're liking the hydrangeas. Yeah, it's a fun bundle to work with. So, yeah, that is it. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate your support so much. Take care and God bless.